Welcome, creative friends. Edna Edie here from the Creativity Activist. Today I'm bringing you a share of the second class that I undertook as part of the Crafting Through the Holidays event that I recently attended in Texas. Now this was with Paige Evans or Paige Evans. She was allocated the Halloween make for this particular retreat, and this is the finished product, which I'll walk through in a moment. We used the Simple Stories Spooky Things collection, which I was very familiar with because I chose this collection to make my Boo Box items out of. So that was quite helpful. I was very tentative about this class because A, I don't do Halloween, and B, I don't do arachnids. And when I realised she was using that particular range, I knew how many arachnids were in it, so that freaked me out, but also made me feel comfortable because I knew how to get rid of them. So that was a bonus. And her make and take, or take and make, was the pizza-shaped album that I've seen before, and she does a Americana theme on it, and she provides all the little pieces, and she provided a link to how to do it. This is the only thing that I didn't take on whilst I was at the retreat because I'm going to try to think about a way to incorporate some of my holiday snaps into that particular project. So I'll look forward to doing that, but the primary purpose of today is to walk through this album. I did modify some of the pages, mainly so that they didn't include the arachnids, but in general I followed all the instructions. So this was a half-day class. She went through the construction of a lot of the pages, and then you spent the time in the evening after the class finishing off. Well, I did. I went hardcore for like an additional 4 hours to finish this off. I really didn't think an album of this size would take that long, but it did. So she partners with a lady in South America, I understand, to make these albums. So we got the physical album, and this is a Halloween coloured mix, but as she stated, there's nothing specifically Halloween in there, so you could choose to use it for another purpose. But I did lean in to just undertaking the class in the way that it was put together. So there's a combination of all of the papers and the embellishments from the Simple Stories Spooky Things. So it was purely that range. So lots of different textures with the chipboard and the acrylic dots and all the lovely things. And these albums are so well made. So this is the front cover, and then the spine, and then there's the back cover there. So I'm okay with the spider webs, just not the arachnids themselves. So I still kept those in there, but I did have to change quite a few things around. So here's the book. This page was what we probably spent the most time on. There's a little construction method with a multi-layered circle underneath there that you won't be able to see on camera, but you could use a white gel pen for that, but I opted to use a pencil. So enjoyed bringing that little wreath together and using elements from the sticker sheet to build that on the side. So some of the pages are reasonably simple in their construction and have room to add photos, and others we used little inserts that she provided. So pretty simple scrapbooking techniques, but some of the page constructions were relatively new to me in this size, so that was good to be taken through those. Lots of use of the stickers. Obviously you're going to come through and put photos in there potentially. The spooky with the little tabs on the side. Lots of double-sided pages. There is one arachnid there you'll see at the top, which this freaked me out that it came home in my bag. I didn't realise it till yesterday. Probably good I didn't know that ahead of time. Anyway, I'm going to cover that up somehow. Lots of little pockets that you made out of the papers, and I am going to come through and put some ribbon in these things. But it's good to make those double-sided pockets. And then pages that flip out. Really nice. I did alter this by putting a white border around that strip there to give it some dimension. And then a whole pocket. I did change out some of the choices of card that she used just to avoid the arachnids. And then another one of those making the little tabs at the side. For the pockets, hey pumpkin, that pumpkin paper is really beautiful. And then this is like a double page layout, and then you build the pocket. I did the surgery on this like I did with my swap to get rid of the arachnid. And then over onto the back, another little pocket out of the paper. And then another page with a simple photo square on there. And then a 4x4 pocket. And then a little pocket, another little double pocket there. Using the balloons and putting extra stickers on them. And then a fold up here. Happy haunting. I really love these quilted elements. So I was really pleased that they were all sort of used on one page. That was nice. And then a simple photo page, another one of those pockets, a hey boo. This is another double page, this time with a different finish to the pockets on the inside there. Loved the bats going into that little center pocket, that was nice. The pumpkins on the back, little journaling tab. And then this one's a fold up, trick or treat, and splitting up that spooky nights there. And that is the last page there. So did really enjoy this class. She has a bit of a different teaching style to the other ladies that taught, but very thorough in the reasoning behind her creative choices. And yeah, she's a really lovely lady, as I'm sure many of you would understand if you've taken classes with her or engaged with her online. So thank you so much, Paige, for such a lovely, well thought out class. Fantastic end product, even if I do say so myself, but I'm really referring to her creative efforts to use that collection to its full potential. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm going to see if one of my friends might like it, but otherwise I may come back here and give this little baby away at some stage. I might keep it for a little while just to love on it because, you know, it was a special event and I really enjoyed it. But don't think this album will be staying at my place forever. So if you're one of my friends and you really want this, let me know. And maybe if that doesn't work out in the next few months, I'll come back and say, hey, would somebody like this little piece of my American trip? Hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of this really great class with Paige. And I hope you're doing something creative today. Enjoy.